In this video, I'm going to show you what I did to get over the most common problem all of us who are learning Spanish go through, which is not knowing what somebody's saying when they speak, because they speak crazy quick. So I'm going to show you the best trick or tip I have to understand spoken Spanish quicker. If you're wondering, why should I listen to you? I am a Canadian dude. I taught myself Spanish at home, and now I travel the world, or Latin America, using it and exploring. So here's the video if you don't believe me.
Only folks here in Acapulco. I'm from Canada. Where are you from? Toronto, en la ciudad, pero algunas partes solo.
¿Pero qué es lo peligroso? ¿Drogas?
No drogas, solo roban. Pero aquí hay secuestros.
But yeah, so what's the trick? All right, before we get into it, I'm gonna ask you a question. Of all the shows you like, which one is the most popular? Now, if you do the same thing for movies, what are some of the most popular ones? Well, the good news is they probably have a Spanish dubbed version somewhere on the internet that you can find. Legally or illegally, by hook or by crook, somehow you can find and get access to the gold. And I'm gonna show you why this is gold. So once you find the dubbed version of your favorite show or your favorite movie, there's two huge benefits that you'll get that'll help you learn Spanish much quicker. The first one is that you now have a more enjoyable way to learn Spanish. That's the biggest thing. People quit learning languages because they get bored or they lose motivation. So this is a good way to not get bored. And the second thing is you're already familiar with the show. So you already know the context, you already know what's going on, and it's much easier to understand the words then when they're said in Spanish. And I know this because, like I said, I did this myself. And more specifically, I did this with these shows that you're seeing on the screen. So Friends, The Office, Family Guy, some of my favorite shows of all time. And I like watching them in English, so I figured I may as well watch them in Spanish. And it was a little bit difficult to find the shows, especially Friends. That one I found on a website that's no longer available, but it was called Danimados.com, I think. But you can even find stuff on YouTube. I mean, like you see there, YouTube channel, Comedy Central, Latino America is where I watch The Office clips. And the same thing with Family Guy, I would just watch random YouTube clips. So that's what I did. But you're gonna have to find out where to find your shows. So let me help you on how to do that. So no matter what show you like, if it's popular enough, it exists on the internet in Spanish. So what I would do is I would Google where to find sites that have dubbed shows in Spanish. So I'd literally look up what you see on the screen there, where to find dubbed in Spanish, Reddit, right? Because Reddit always has real people who will give you websites. Now, I did some research for you, and I checked these links myself, and they're good. Trust me, there's really good stuff, especially these bottom two ones. Series Land, there's like every show that I looked up was there, so even Friends. And then if you like anime, there's also anime sites, but check some of those links out. But if you don't find what you like on those, then keep looking. Like, just be persistent, it's worth it, and you'll find a show you like. And by the way, this show, Griselda here, it's also got Spanish dialogue, like in the show. It's an English show, but it's got Spanish dialogue with English subtitles. So that's another really good way to learn a language, is to hear it in Spanish and see the subtitles in English. Or what I do in my travel vlogs, like you saw at the beginning of the video, is I put the Spanish subtitles and the English subtitles at the same time, so that whoever's watching can learn a lot easier, because that helped me a lot in my journey. So, and I'm pretty sure there's an app called LingoPie or something like that, where they have a bunch of shows on there they also do the subtitling thing with both. I've never used it, so I'm not gonna say whether it's good or bad, but you might want to look into it. But you don't need to pay for a subscription. Like I said, you can find it for free online. You just have to look. Now, I'm not saying you need to use these links. I don't know if they'll give you a virus. I mean, they're obviously kind of sketchy. Like any website where you can find free movies might give you a virus. So maybe don't use the websites, but also maybe do, if you know what I mean. But if you want to be clean, you can use some of the most common streaming services, depending on which one you have. I think you need a VPN. So get a VPN. Log into a Spanish-speaking IP address, and you'll be able to find the shows dubbed in Spanish. Now, what I did at the beginning when I was watching Friends was, since I couldn't understand enough Spanish at the beginning, I would watch the show in English first, like the episode. I'd watch 5 minutes of it, and then I'd watch 5 minutes. So I'd watch 5 minutes in English, and then I'd watch 5 minutes in Spanish. And it was a little bit annoying going back and forth. But if you want to learn the language, then you have to do some stuff that's hard here and there. But eventually I built it up to like 10 minutes, and then eventually I would just watch the show in English, and then the whole thing at once, and then the whole thing in Spanish. And then eventually I got to a point where I would just watch it in Spanish because I could listen, I could comprehend enough just straight away from Spanish. So it's progressive, but let yourself progress, let yourself be bad. If you can only do like 30 seconds of English and then 30 seconds of Spanish, you really have to focus in, so be it. Just start wherever you are and keep getting better. But anyways, where to go from here? As I just said, implement what you've learned. Don't make excuses. If you want to speak Spanish, then just do what it takes. And like I said, try and find ways that you actually enjoy. I think this is one way. If you like shows, if you like movies, this is a very easy way to do it. But a lot of people will say just watch shows in Spanish, but they don't give the context that you have to understand what they're saying for it to be worth it. Like, you shouldn't just sit there passively watching, not understanding anything, because first of all, that's boring, and second of all, you're not learning anything. So understand what they're saying in English first, and then watch it in Spanish. Anyways, I hope you got something of value out of this video. I hope you have some ideas on how to learn Spanish. And if you want to become conversational in Spanish, be sure to subscribe, and I'll help you get there. All right, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.